Today on Around Kansas, Deb is getting ready for the holidays as she looks ahead to some events coming up around the state. Next, when you think fall, holidays, and comfort food, today it's all about the gravy. Next, Rocky Downing is talking Sunflower State Games with Mitch Gross. Then in our wildlife segment, we share exciting news about ebikes in state parks, and we'll end with a fun global positioning poem from Ron Wilson.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.
Welcome to the Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center, right here in my hometown of Oakley, Kansas. We're the front door of Western Kansas, located on three main highways, I-70, US 83, and US 40. And all those roads lead to history, beautiful scenery, and adventure, no matter which direction you go. We now have an IHOP. That brand that you've trusted up and down the road in all your travels is staffed with local folks, real people, just like you and me, and we're waiting on you to join us. So for fun, adventure, fuel up, fuel your body, and let's have some fun.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Good Wednesday morning, coming to you this morning from my second High Plains kitchen, because, you know, one's just not enough for me or my alter ego Dixie Lee. Drinking from my Festus coffee cup. How Kansas is that? Even though this actually is from Los Animas, Colorado, the childhood home of Ken Curtis, who was near and dear to so many of us as Festus on Gunsmoke for so many years. So what a fantastic show. And as you can see, I'm surrounded by some of my favorite things, dishes. But these are pretty special dishes, so we'll talk about those in just a minute. We were in Boggsville, Colorado, near Los Animas, the home of Kit Carson, of the Boggs family, who adopted Kit Carson Kit Carson's children after he and his wife Josefa passed away within a month of one another. So sad. And the Boggs family took in the Carson children and raised them, and so cementing the ties between the Boggs and the Carsons forever. Really wonderful historic site. It is a state site, some really devoted volunteers there, and of course it is a site on the Santa Fe Trail, so something that's very special to me. And of course that was also part of the Kansas Territory at one time, so that's another big connection we have. So if you have a chance and you're going out that way, head out to Boggsville sometime and walk around the Prowers home and the Boggs home and make a little donation. You know, our local historic sites really struggle with maintenance, with salaries, you know, all those things. So when you can, make a contribution. Speaking of local historic sites, if you're planning for Christmas, and I know many of you are, of course, Fort Scott, the Christmas tours sell out almost as quickly as they go on sale. There for the candlelight tours the first weekend of December at Fort Scott. So make sure you go to their website and check that out. And of course, historical Compton, our favorite Christmas destination in Kansas, will be celebrating the season with, once again, dozens, if not hundreds of trees and thousands of ornaments. And no matter how many times you've been, they always add something new. So we'll have a segment on that in the weeks to come and encourage you to go to Compton. Lots of other folks, of course, with Christmas at Fort Wallace Museum. Last year we did a kind of a Christmas at the Fort Day that lit up to our annual Christmas service at the Lutheran Church there on the Fort Wallace Museum grounds. Just lovely, 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 lovely. And it's kind of an open house all day, and it's just warm and fun, and so I hope you can plan to join us too. I think the first is on Sunday this year, so that's kind of messing with a lot of people's dates. What constitutes the first weekend? Is that the first Sunday or the first full weekend? So you better check Facebook pages and websites to make sure you get the right days.
In 1821, a trade route was opened from Missouri in the United States across prairies and mountains to Mexico. In 2021, we will mark 200 years of epic conflicts and grand adventures, larger-than-life personalities, and sweeping landscapes. Join us on an historic journey. The Santa Fe Trail lives on.
Find us on social media or santafetrail.org.
Okay, looks like it's time for our tour. Welcome to the Fort Wallace Museum. Here at the museum, you're going to find some really interesting stuff, like our replica stagecoach from the Butterfield Overland Dispatch. We've got facades from the fort buildings. We've got an 1870s flag. There's a plesiosaur that was discovered locally. We've got the Ray pump organ collection. We're a little bitty place with a great big story, and we'd love to have you.
Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agaminkansas.com.
My name's Karen Cope, and I have multiple sclerosis. When you have MS, on the outside you look great, but what's really going on in the inside is chronic body pain, chronic fatigue. And there's lots of days that I'd wake up and say, oh, please God, help me get through this day. After stem cells, Chloe, my youngest daughter, she was asked by my father-in-law, how's your mom doing? And Chloe said, Grandpa, I've never had a mom like this before, because she was 8 when I was diagnosed, and she really had no other memory of me but being sick. It's really the simple things that we do as a family, like play cards, and to be able to win at cards. They all laugh because I used to repeat myself and say, what hand are we on? Where are we at? And it's just been really a true blessing from God, and we're really thankful.
This segment brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Well, since we're talking getting ready for the season and the food and all those good things, I want to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that's gravy. Gravy is just magic, and I love collecting the dishes that you serve gravy in. Gravy boats. Look at this. Okay, this is actually a little soup tureen, but this is small, so you'd probably serve sauce or gravy in that. Isn't that precious? And this is like the traditional little gravy boat. This is probably from, the 30s or 40s, maybe the 50s, I don't know. But nice little gravy boat with a pour. And isn't this a gorgeous pottery piece? And of course you've got a little spout so you can pour the gravy. And this little saucer is attached so to catch the drippings. And this is one I just found the other day with the turkey on it. Isn't that adorable? This was actually made in, what's the year on this one? I think it's 1962. Yeah, 1962. So nearly ancient, isn't it, folks? So I thought since we were making gravy the other day in Boggsville and had such a great time, that this was just a great opportunity to talk about gravy and cooking outdoors and cooking indoors on cast iron and just so many fun things. And as Dr. Jake is just dying for me to say, let's roll that gravy footage.
What is your comfort food? Mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, mom's meatloaf? Chances are your comfort food involves gravy. Lots of folks are, in fact, comforted by gravy. It's hearty, stick to the ribs and the hips forever. This simple food, made from grease, flour, salt and pepper and milk, is like magic. It transforms ordinary food into a dish to nurture the body and soul. Gravy is served over mashed potatoes and fried potatoes, country fried steak and chicken fried steak. It is made from sausage drippings and chicken drippings. It is served from silver gravy boats and straight from the cast iron frying pan. It is a staple of grandmothers everywhere and chuck wagon cooks across the West. Perhaps cooking gravy outside makes it even better. The invention of the chuck wagon was credited to legendary cowman Charles Goodnight. While folks had been hauling food around as long as folks had been moving and eating, Goodnight modified a Studebaker Army surplus wagon to be a traveling kitchen for the cowboys who were on the trail pushing millions of cattle across the West. He added a chuck box to the back of the wagon with drawers and shelves for storage space and a hinged lid to provide a flat cooking surface. The foods these cowboys ate were simple and easy to preserve: beans, salted meats, biscuits. On a good day, they may have also had gravy on those meats and biscuits. It may have been made with water, but they could have had canned milk. Yes, they had canned milk 150 years ago. You can imagine how happy those cowboys would have been at the end of the long, dusty trail to get a heaping serving of mashed potatoes, chicken fried steak, biscuits, and gravy. Just as happy as cowboys and girls would be today.
What if sustainability were synonymous with U.S. soy? If energy efficiency, water quality, and soil health help define U.S. soy's value, that future is here, the time is now. To meet end-user demands, the Soybean Checkoff is committing to sustainability that's achievable, worthwhile, and enduring. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Hi, this is Rocky Downing. Today we're going to talk about the Sunflower State Games with their director, Mitch Gross, how they developed, and what's going on with the Sunflower State Games.
There are 30 different states across the country that host state games competitions modeled after the Olympics that are open to just the general public. So specifically for Kansas with the Sunflower Games, we were actually started in 1990. Started over in Lawrence, Kansas. That's where they kicked off. And the very first year, there were 14 different sports, and I want to say there was about 2,500 participants. So it was a pretty good beginning. Through the course of time, like you said in the last segment, we are preparing to celebrate our 30th anniversary here this year in 2019, and we've grown considerably. So this summer, we'll be hosting a total of 46 different sports. We're anticipating well over 7,000 athletes. We've been averaging around between 7,500 and 8,000 the last several years. Our biggest year ever was in 2013. We had just over 9,100. Wow. So it just fluctuates a little bit as far as participation goes, but we generally expect between 7,000 and 8,000. So yeah, that's what's really cool about it. It's a competition that invites athletes from all four corners of the state, all ages, all skill levels, and throughout the years we've added, several sports. I think in 2006 when I first started, I want to say we had 28 or 30 sports. So this year we're at 46. A couple years ago we were up to 50. So it just kind of depends on the different trends that are out there when we look to add a new event or whatnot. We're kind of at the point with the number of events that we host. There's not much left for us to to add. We have just about every major sport that you can think of, with the exception of tackle football. So, and we have sports, your mainstream sports such as baseball, basketball, track and field, swimming, tennis, and then we kind of run the gamut. We have your obscure sports. We have badminton, bocce ball, pickleball. We have steel-tipped darts. We have handball. So we truly do have something for everybody, and that's really one of our mottos that we like to put out there is, if you've never tried it, or if you're just a novice, somebody who likes to compete in a sport with your friends or in the backyard or on the weekends, and you're not really into competitions, well, look us up and give us a try, because that's what's really cool and what really sets our event apart from others is that our event, the Sunflower State Games, for many of our sports serve as the state championship, if you will. So a good example I like to equate is our badminton competition. There are lots of different segments and pockets of badminton players across the state, but very few opportunities for all these people to get together and have a true competition. So for many of our participants, this is their one big event for the entire year, and they've been training for it and practicing and use the Sunflower State Games as a means to an end to lead a healthy, active lifestyle, and kind of serves as their big opportunity to go out and win a medal and bring home the gold and have bragging rights for a whole year. So that's a little bit about the history of the games and what we're all about.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for that grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well on their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, we're glad to answer and work with you.
Trust and leadership are critical to success at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center in Manhattan. Just ask Coach Bill Snyder.
People of the Regenerative Center do care about others. I've been highly impressed with those people that have that vested interest and try to help people become better. The center really is a wonderful thing here in Manhattan, first of its kind, and we're on the cutting edge of what lies ahead.
Find out more about the trusted leader in stem cell therapy at kansasrmc.com. Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Okay, looks like it's time for our tour. Welcome to the Fort Wallace Museum. Here at the museum, you're going to find some really interesting stuff, like our replica stagecoach from the Butterfield Overland Dispatch. We've got facades from the fort buildings. We've got an 1870s flag. There's a plesiosaur that was discovered locally. We've got the Ray pump organ collection. We're a little bitty place with a great big story, and we'd love to have you.
This segment brought to you by the Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center in Oakley.
Now that you have had your gravy, it is time to work it off. And I can't think of a better way than bicycling. And our state parks, the trails all over the state of Kansas are just great this time of year. They're so inviting, so welcoming. And of course, folks get out on their mountain bikes and their all kinds of bikes. And now, are you ready for it? There are e-bikes. Yes, they have put a motor on bicycles. Now, this is not a motorcycle. This is just kind of a souped up bicycle. And now you can ride one in Kansas state parks. Let's take a look. This is absolutely the best time of year to get outdoors in Kansas. Whether you're hiking, biking, or hunting, there are so many places and so many ways to experience Kansas. One of the vehicles folks are choosing to experience Kansas with is the e-bike. E-bikes, also referred to as pedal assist bikes, have a small motor that engages when a rider pedals. Once engaged, the motor provides a boost of acceleration, allowing the rider to more easily maneuver hills and rough terrain. The Kansas Department of Wildlife Parks and Tourism recently decided to allow e-bikes on Kansas trails with some rules. Only e-bikes that cease to provide assistance when the bicycle reaches a maximum of 20 miles per hour may be used at Kansas state parks. And, most importantly, e-bikes will also only be allowed on trails already approved for bicycle use. We have over 500 miles of trails at Kansas State Parks, said Linda Lanterman, Kansas State Parks Director. E-bikes will allow more users to enjoy these trails, including individuals who have previously been unable because of age, disability, or physical capacity. We're really excited about the opportunities this will open up. According to the website bicycling.com, e-bikes are here to stay, citing a 91% increase in sales from 2016 to 2017. There are also conversion kits that will transform your traditional bike into an e-bike. State park staff plan to increase public education efforts, promoting safe trail use and trail etiquette, as well as increasing signage on trails where bicycles are allowed. For a complete list of trails at Kansas State Parks, including biking trails, as always, visit ksoutdoors.com/trails. Welcome to the Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center, right here in my hometown of Oakley, Kansas. We're the front door of Western Kansas, located on three main highways, I-70, US 83, and US 40. And all those roads lead to history, beautiful scenery, and adventure, no matter which direction you go. We now have an IHOP. That brand that you've trusted up and down the road in all your travels is staffed with local folks, real people, just like you and me, and we're waiting on you to join us. So for fun, adventure, fuel up, fuel your body, and let's have some fun.
Kim Mannering with Hardy Insurance. Today we will talk about employee safety and work comp coverage. On your farm, do you ask your friends to come help? Are they considered employees or neighbors helping neighbors? Did you know that you can be held responsible just as if it's a work comp accident, give me a call. We can discuss. 316-945-6733.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook. Let us help feed your family.
I have discovered a new thing, and that is my phone can navigate me wherever I am going using a global positioning satellite. It's amazing. This poem is called Global Positioning. I have a dadgum GPS. It's right there on my phone. It seems it finds any address mankind has ever known. I enter number and the street. It finds the thoroughfare. It's simply one amazing feat. My phone directs me there. It tells me to go right or left and how far to the turn. It never has left me bereft, as I have come to learn. It advises me which lane to choose, the name of the next street. It's one amazing thing to use. My road map's obsolete. But there was something I went through I thought was kind of scary. I had to run some flowers to a country cemetery. I put in where I had to drive. My phone got me right there. But what it said when I arrived is what made me beware. What gave me such a sense of dread and caused me consternation? The voice inside my phone just said, "You've reached your final destination." Happy trails.
I'm hitting the road to Jackson Heights here in just a couple of minutes, so watch out on the highways. I'm Deb Goodrich, and I'll see you somewhere around Kansas.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for the grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm, so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well on their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, we'll be glad to answer it and work with you.
Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agamandkansas.com.